Hey, come and welcome to Titli's Busy Kitchen with me, Titli. With the weather getting cooler, I thought I'd make myself a nice big pot of delicious roast pumpkin and garlic soup. So for this soup, I've got 1 kilogram of fresh pumpkin flesh. I've taken a pumpkin, scooped the seeds out, cut it into slices and then peeled it in that order. Let me deal with the inevitable question. No, you can't use tinned puree in this recipe because this is for roast pumpkin soup, and I definitely wouldn't recommend you trying to roast the tin. I've also got 850 ml of vegetable stock, 425 ml of milk, 6 garlic cloves which are still in their skins, and 1 large chopped onion. So first of all we need to roast the pumpkin. Take a piece of flesh and brush it all over with some vegetable oil. I'd recommend a good tasting vegetable oil like olive oil, for example. I'm actually using groundnut oil, but you could use sesame oil or walnut oil. And pop it onto a baking tray or into a roasting tin, whichever you've got handy. Now just take your garlic cloves and pop them into spaces on the baking sheet. No need to put any oil on these. Now we're going to bake this in the oven at 220 degrees C for about 15-20 minutes until the pumpkin's lovely and tender. And fresh out of the oven, here we have some nice sizzly tender roast pumpkin. Now leave to cool. In this pan I'm melting 25 grams of butter. Once the butter's melted, add in the onions and stir fry for about 5 minutes until they start to go brown at the edges. These are just starting to go brown at the edges, so turn the heat right down and leave these now to saute gently for about 15 minutes. So here's my cooled pumpkin and garlic. We'll start with the garlic. Take one of the garlic cloves, pull them open, and inside you'll find something that's really quite squidgy. So there's my peeled garlic cloves which have been roasted. Now just cut the rest of the pumpkin into chunks. The onions should be darkening and start to smell sweet. Once you get to that stage, add in the stock and the milk. Stir, turn up the heat and bring it to a gentle simmer. Once the liquid starts to simmer, add in the pumpkin and the garlic. Mix well and bring back to the simmer. When it comes to the simmer, turn the heat down, cover and simmer gently for about 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, you can turn off the heat and allow it to cool slightly. Now we need to process this soup to make it smooth, so we can either pop it in a food processor or whack out the whizzy toy! Yay! Oh yeah, that's one well-whizzed soup. Now if your soup's well-whizzed, this next step isn't strictly necessary, but I do it to please those who would whinge and moan if I didn't do it. Just pass the soup through a sieve, make sure you've got all the chunky bits out. Clean the pan out and pour the soup back into the pan. Season with salt, pepper and a few big pinches of nutmeg. Mix well, bring back to the boil and serve. Serve with a blob of cream, some tiny cubes of cheese and a sprinkling of fresh parsley. This soup is really delicious and warming on a cold day. And why not accompany them with these fabulous pumpkin bread rolls? You'll find the recipe for them on my other channel, The Bread Kitchen. Why not pop across there now? Join me next time in Titli's Busy Kitchen with me, Titli. Until next time, Huda Hafiz.